What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Make sure you hit that like button if you just joined. That would be very much appreciated. Let me turn on the template. We have 10 minutes left until Power Hour. And I don't know if you guys remember, but yesterday I told you that I'm pretty much still getting used to making videos again. And it's having an impact on the schedule. And so I'm still trying to tweak things. Was later than usual for this stream as well, but a lot better than yesterday. I mean, yesterday we only had about half an hour, even less than that, to stream, and today we have an hour and about 10 minutes, so it's pretty nice. Make sure you smash that like button. Smash it right now. Let me welcome everybody that just came back to the stream. Welcome back to Larry Summers, John Smith, J-Dub, Sarah Okafor, Damsum, Greg, Alex Whiteside, Kevin, Irene, Hung Young, RH, Lenny, and Rocky. Welcome back to the stream. Hit that like button if you just got named by me. Would appreciate it a lot. Markets are bouncing back big time, right? So we were kind of anticipating a bit of a bounce coming up, right? And so here we go. Nasdaq bouncing up 1.7%. Dow Jones down. Dow Jones up 1.4%. Russell up 0.6%, kind of not really that strong of a bounce on the Russell, but the S&P up 1.5% as well. VIX, look at that, the VIX is going down 10%, which is good news. The VIX has been very much elevated for pretty much the past couple weeks, and we're finally seeing that going down, which is a good thing. The 10-year, if you take a look at this, the 10-year has been skyrocketing. It's up 3 percentage points. Hopefully that is going to come down, but so far it looks like the 10-year is going to keep moving upwards. However, keep in mind, we've had much higher levels on the 10-year yield, so we're doing relatively okay still. We're not seeing the 10-year spike 10-20%. It's up 3%. We could see that fall short term. Who knows? And at the moment, I can see that the U.S. oil is heading up substantially. Bitcoin is heading up. We're pretty much seeing the equivalent of a everything rally, which is kind of funny. And I think Alibaba has been going up as well. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. Alibaba up 2.6%. DIDI was up 5%, now only up 3 percentage points. So that is, in my opinion, I think DIDI has some negative things going on with it, so I would not be surprised if it just stays low. However, Alibaba is still doing good on a fundamental basis, so I think Alibaba is probably going to go much higher than this. Keep in mind, look at this, we have filled the gap. This was what we were anticipating with Alibaba, respectively. So it hit 143.86, up about 2.6%. And I have said in the past that Alibaba is the kind of stock that it just doesn't move more than 4 to 6% on a single day basis. So if you're expecting Alibaba to go up 10% in a single day, that is not going to happen. It just simply, it just doesn't happen, right? So this is still good stuff, right? So we're seeing the gap being filled to the upside. I think Alibaba is definitely looking a lot better right now. BYD is going up 4%. Baidu is up 2.7%. Virgin Galactic slightly down 0.75%. Nobody's willing to buy the stock, apparently. Robinhood is up 2.6%. Uber is slightly flat. IONQ is flattening out as well. It seems like not a whole lot has changed from when I went away in the first live stream. From what I'm seeing here, at least. Nope, whistleblower canceled Facebook's launch to the moon. Did it? Like, has that really happened? Huh? I mean, let's get real. Facebook, it jumped up 3.5% from the bottom. And, with the whole, all the negative stuff going on with Facebook, I don't think that it would be a surprise if Facebook goes down to 315 or even $300. All in all, I think Facebook isn't going to go anywhere. I think we're probably just going to get cheaper prices. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Although, wow, damn. Oh my God. Google is up 2.3%. Netflix up 5.7 percentage points. It's sitting at a market cap of 280 billion. Damn. That is wild. Okay, so I did not anticipate this, right? So I thought that Netflix was looking weak because of the customer deceleration. But with their new shows that they came out with, they managed to actually crush expectations, and the stock is flying much higher. I think next earnings could get very interesting for Netflix. Given the fact that a lot of people are subscribing to Netflix to watch the new shows like Squid Game, I think it's going to look quite good. Yeah, it's pretty much Squid Game is the reason that it's going up that much. It's kind of strange if you think about it, right? But yeah, if everybody gets Netflix to watch Squid Game, then that's how it goes. That's kind of interesting. Tom Lee predicted an everything rally. I mean, Tom Lee has been saying that everything is going to go up. He's been saying this like every single day. Like, oh, stocks are down. Yeah, they're going to go up. Oh, stocks are up. Yeah, they're going to go up. Like, that is, in my opinion, I mean, anybody could do that. There's going to come a time where, like, everything is going to reverse to the downside. And it's like, oh, yeah, everything is going to go up. No, it's not. We're just going to see more downside. But not right now. I think right now we'd still have to agree with that sentiment of, like, stocks are going to keep moving upwards. Okay. I want to pull something right now. There we go. So the poll question is going to be, have you watched Squid Game? I'm actually interested in how many people have watched it. Obviously, I have watched it, right? So, yeah. Nvidia actually bounced up 4.3%. Nano Dimension is up very slightly. I think what's really running right now is just big tech, right? Apple is up 2%. Microsoft is up 2.4%. Facebook is up 2%. Google is up 2%. Amazon is up 2%. It's just like big tech has been rallying upwards, right? It's just mostly big tech. Looking at Amazon right now, Amazon has just been downtrending, right? For the most part. Hasn't been going anywhere. I think they had some very bad forecasts because we're getting out of COVID, and a lot of people were actually very much reliant on COVID. On Amazon, sorry, during COVID, which boosted their sales big time. All right, we got 2 more minutes left for Power Hour. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Wait, 65% of people have not watched Squid Game. Oh, that is interesting. Somebody said they just opened a position on Baba. That's interesting. Yeah, I bought some Alibaba at the 139, 140 zone. I didn't buy much more after that, actually. I'm just waiting right now. I want to see what happens at this point. Can we get a substantial rally? Like, can we get back to 153? See, that would be interesting if that happens. I think we might actually... See, my take on this is, like, I think we're going to go to 153. I think we're going to go there. We're going to be sitting there probably by Friday, which would be quite insane. 1 more minute until Power Hour. Smash that like button. Power Hour inbound. Let's go. Turn everything on. There we go. Power hour activated. Bring on the cowbell. Helion. Helion has been going down substantially. 20%. I am telling you, Virgin Galactic, I mean, it's looking so sweet. Baidu. How much is Baidu down, actually? 57.5%. Damn. That's quite a large amount. How much was Tencent down? I think Tencent is also down a substantial amount. 41%. That is a lot less than Baba and Baidu. How much was JD down? I think JD is doing still pretty good. Last time we saw these prices was about a year ago. Yeah, Kathy Wood has been buying a lot of JD stock. Let's see, NASDAQ is hitting resistance, isn't it? Yep, we're hitting resistance on the NASDAQ. So, yeah, we're feeling it, right? The NASDAQ is pulling back slightly. I think the same thing is true for the S&P right now. We're right at the resistance zone. We're hitting the 20-day moving average. And it's looking quite tough. However, if we break through, then we're heading straight up to fill the gap to 4,400. That would be quite a nice rally there, eh? The Dow Jones also slightly pulling back. Yep. And we're seeing the Russell, which is only up 0.5%. Which does make sense, right? So the Russell, that's mostly small caps, a lot of growth stocks, and those stocks tend to underperform when the 10-year Treasury yield is going up. And look at that, it's going up quite a bit right now, up about 3.4%. The dollar heading upwards, that's not a good thing necessarily. And we have cryptos are going up as well. Bitcoin sitting at 50,000 again, 50.8K. It keeps on bouncing back, eh? Like that is really interesting. I am still not buying it. I am still bearish on crypto. I don't think we're going to get back to the all-time high unless we see a substantial breakthrough above 50K. Like we're heading, if we head to like 52K, 53K, then apparently something is going on, right? There's like a catalyst going on, like the Bitcoin ETF I've heard about. That could be helpful for Bitcoin at the moment and cryptocurrencies. So that is the current situation regarding Bitcoin. Oh, there we go. Oh, oops. Yeah, DIDI is still managing all right. Although what's notable is that, look at this. Ever since that spike, it's just been down, right? It's just been selling off. Are we seeing the same thing with Alibaba? No, we're just seeing an uptrend, right? So it's just people are buying like crazy, and they keep on buying. That's what we're seeing with Alibaba. Coinbase is flying right now. Is Coinbase flying? Oh, wow. It's not flying, but I would say, it's up 4%. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah. It is very much dependent on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency at the moment, too. I like what I'm seeing on the daily chart. The MACD could be crossing. But I still, I'm a little doubtful Just a little doubtful right now. Because we have the whole thing going on with the SEC, the hearings that we had. And I think if cryptos top out again, it's going to take Coinbase with it. So it's so much dependent on the price of crypto. Because we've seen this before where the market, let's say if the market goes down and cryptos are up, Coinbase does nothing. If cryptos are going up and let's say cryptos are going up and the market is going up, but the SEC is talking about whatever's happening with, Coinbase's like loaning programs or whatnot, it just goes down. There's not many scenarios where I see Coinbase heading up. There would have to be like cryptos would have to go up and the markets have to go up. And that's happening right now. Cryptos are up, markets are up. And so Coinbase is also moving to the upside. President Biden delivers remarks on infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better agenda at 3 p.m. Any impact? I think it's going to have a lot of impact. It always does with these kind of speeches. So, yeah, I'm going to say, Coinbase is looking okay. It's not looking super attractive. It's looking all right, 50 billion market cap. Their revenues were pretty darn high. In Q2, 2.2 billion in revenues, 1.6 billion in net income. And that is really freaking high. The thing is it consistent? Like, are we going to see this consistently? I don't think so. And so we're going to have to wait to see what happens with earnings. I'm going to say they're going to start losing more and more profits because they've got incredibly high prices. Like they've got very high fees, right? And I think they're going to have to lower their fees over time. Or if they don't lower their fees, they're going to lose customers because there's going to be more competition where customers can pretty much go to. I don't think there's any fees with Binance, right? So that's another example. Let's see. Alibaba doing pretty good, up 2.7%. And looking at SoFi is still trending up. Netlist is down 2.5%. Virgin Galactic now down more than a percentage point, coming down again. I don't like seeing that. People said Bitcoin would never hit 18K after it topped in 2018. The thing is, it's not how it works. There is a thing, it's called the halving event. And Bitcoin, it moves with the halving event. And the halving event is where the supply of Bitcoin, the supply of new Bitcoins coming to the market, it halves. And it happens every 4 years. So people in 2018 that say that Bitcoin would not hit 18K again, I think that's idiotic because the next halving event would have been in 2020. So it's gonna hit 18. It's bound to hit 18K at that point. But it's also for a good chunk of time, we could see Bitcoin stay in these levels and just not go up. For a very good chunk of time. Until 2023, until 2024. I mean, are you willing to hold it until then? I mean, hey, sure, enjoy. But I am not going to hold Bitcoin for 2 years, see it do nothing or go down, and then it potentially going up 5x, which is also not guaranteed given the fact that many government agencies kind of want to get rid of Bitcoin, which, it's a bit questionable if they can do that, but they could definitely try to mess things up for us. Yeah, so I am just, just being realistic. Just trying to be realistic. There's a lot of people out there saying that Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000 to 200,000 to 1 million to 2 million. I'm just saying, hey, I mean, if we, let's say we get closer to the halving event, let's say 2023, 2024, I think that is when we're going to see Bitcoin move above 100,000. Until then, I don't think it's going to happen. Unless something huge happens, but I just don't see it happening right now. All right. What a power hour so far indeed. Oh my god. Still strong. Everything is still looking pretty strong. Look at that NASDAQ bounce. And we're looking at the dollar. Dollar is looking a bit more weaker. Like, it's slightly weaker than what I've expected from it. And UiPath, I don't know what happened with UiPath, but that is pretty wild. Did you see that? What the hell happened there? Somebody just decided to drop 4.8%. What? 4.9% drop on UiPath. Right then and there. I mean, that is really nutty. Holy damn. It's crazy. It might have been ARK. If it's ARK, if this was ARK, that would be insane because they've been buying so much UiPath. They've been buying like crazy. So if they're starting to sell, that would be a red flag. That would be a very big red flag for UiPath. Yeah, look at this downtrend on Virgin Galactic. I mean, it just keeps on going down, 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 down. Robinhood is sitting at 41.8. I guess the 4-hour chart is still looking okay, so I think it could still go up. We're mostly dependent on market sentiment. Where the market is going is where Robinhood is going. And that goes for most stocks out there at the moment. Chevron pulled back slightly. The value stocks are green overall. Insiders just temping all their shares to Wood. I think that's exactly what's happening. Because keep in mind, Kathy Wood has been buying most of the UiPath stock. So, what kind of position do you have in Baba? I have a bunch of options. I have shares. I have all sorts of things going on with Baba. I'm fairly confident we're going to get back to 160 for earnings, which is a 20% move. Is it a 20? Nah, 15% move, right? It depends on where you bought, but from 140 to 160, I think that's a fair gain. And I'm willing to risk that. C3.ai is... it's still green. I mean, that is surprising. I watched Palantir go down like 2 percentage points, right? So Palantir dumped massively. And C3.ai is still up 2.5%. So that's some really nice momentum that we're seeing. Very, very interesting. When do you see ARK and growth stocks recover to all-time highs? I would say the December period seems to be likely. End of November, December. That's where I think we're going to see the most amount of momentum. We're looking at, I think it's the 13th of this month for CPI. And we're looking at lower numbers. Like, we want CPI to be lower, not higher. If CPI is going to be lower again, then that could be a trigger for growth stocks to spike again. Now, of course, growth stocks didn't go up much, but that's because the whole stock market was going down. That's the Nasdaq was going down 8%, the S&P was going down 5%, the Dow Jones was going down 6%. So that was the reason why the past 1.5 months, growth stocks got annihilated. Everything got, pretty much annihilated. Even stocks like Nike, which have been doing pretty well, right? It's a value stock. Nike was down roughly 16.6%. And that's quite a bit for a growth, for a value stock. So that was, yeah, I shorted the hell out of Nike, right? That was a very great move. But yeah, now I think Nike is looking okay now. The current valuation it's not looking that bad. Although they have some issues with China, I think, technicals are looking just fine. We just bounced off the 200-day moving average, so I think we're going to be starting to move. We're going to be moving vertical to the 160s very soon. Is the 10% correction completed? I am not sure. I am not sure about it. We'll have to see. I mean, I did point out the fact that we have this trend line going, and we hit the trend line, and we're now bouncing off the trend line. That in and of itself, it's a very good thing. But we still have to see what happens with the debt ceiling. We have to see what happens with the infrastructure bill, and those things are going to have a big impact. We have the CPI report coming up in roughly 10 days. We have got the PPE report. PPI. I think it's a PPI report. Will you buy a stock or sell a put? I can't really sell puts. I am not located in the United States, so I'm in the Netherlands. We really don't have options like that. We don't have calls or puts, but we do have CFDs. We can take lots of leverage on stocks, which is, I guess, that works out just fine. What is CPI? CPI is Consumer Price Index. It's basically a group of commodities that they're tracking. They're tracking the prices of to give us any indication whether prices are going up month over month or year over year or quarter over quarter, or whether prices are actually going down or going flat. Prices have been going up for most of this year and most of last year, but we're starting to see this kind of cool off pretty much since August, right? So slightly downwards. Nothing too significant, but slightly downwards. And we're hoping for a big move to the downside on CPI, which we could be getting. I mean, to be fair, we could be getting this starting the 15th of October. What will happen if Powell's removed? Chaos. That's what's going to happen. I mean, the markets are very frail. If Powell is removed, then people are going to freak out. All right. Oh, damn. Look at that. Li Auto. Li Auto up 6.5%. Market cap of $26 billion. They have an annual revenue. Their revenue was $1.37 billion. Net income of $25 million in the negative. Q2 2021, they had $780.3 million in revenue, and net income of minus 36 million. So they're getting pretty darn close to Neo, which Neo had 1.3 billion in revenue. Although, well, there's still a substantial difference, but it's kind of interesting. Li Auto is doing pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like it better than even Neo at this point, to be really honest. The daily MACD is also looking like it's going to cross here, which in some sense means we're going to we're going to the moon. I think we're going to go back to $30, most likely. Going back to about $30 a share. It's kind of weird. Like, I remember Li Auto going to I think it hit like 47.6 or something, which is pretty darn high. Like, that is 76% higher than where we're currently standing. So the stock was pretty much sitting at a valuation of, I think, about 40 billion, 45 billion or something. And that was back then. That was 2020, which was, hey, to be fair, they had 1.3 billion in revenue for 2020. And now they're growing even faster. I mean, if you would annualize their current revenue rates, about 800 million a quarter, that would put them around 3.2 billion a year, which is much more than what they had in 2020. And well, we know what happened in 2020. It went to $48. So I think we're probably going to go up from here. Although the 10-year yield is going to make a difference, right? So if the 10-year yield drops, then that's the signal. That's why that's when the stock goes up from there. Shiba Inu, please, my man. Why are people so fixated on this? I don't understand. This is pretty much a pump and dump. Like, there's no fundamentals behind this, is there? Like, it's just mostly people getting excited, and buying it. Did Elon tweet about it or something? Did he tweet about it? So, because this is kind of strange. I'm going to quickly check if he tweeted about it. Because it just randomly skyrockets. Like, what the hell? Okay, so you can't make this up, right? Elon Musk, he tweeted about Shiba Inu. In fact, he uploaded a picture of a Shiba Inu, which is a dog, and then everybody starts buying Shiba Inu. Like, I don't understand this. Like, how is that logic? How is that logical? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh. Yeah, it really doesn't. Like, that's the only thing I can find on it. Shiba Inu. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this goes down substantially. Pretty much hereafter, right? So, let's see. Is there support or something? I think it could just pull back all the way back to where it came from, all the way. But that's just what I'm thinking. I think it's going to top out, come back down all the way, especially when these cryptos are going to top out slightly. Like, if we see Bitcoin top out again, everything is just going to collapse again. All right, so that's the idea. I think Shiba Inu is a bit of a pump and dump. People are just gambling their money on it. With all due respect, it's just, that's what it is. At least that's what I'm getting from it at the moment. The Dow Jones is up 1.3%. Looks like the market is cooling off a little, which usually, the last 30 minutes it tends to happen. At least the past couple days, in the past couple weeks, that has been the pattern. All right. Ethereum up 2.5%. Bitcoin is up 3%. Yeah, this has been the support zone, right? So let's be fair. 40K, 40.7K. I remember covering Bitcoin back then. I thought it was going to go down from there onwards, but then we got some bullish news about, I think it was regarding what happened with El Salvador, probably. It's kind of funny how fast it went back up to 50K. Like, it's not been a week. Like, it's been roughly 6 days. Something like that. And it's already back up at 50K. Yeah, so it's like a higher low. So we have a lower high at the moment in comparison to where we were. Lower high, but a higher low on top of that. So if we see a higher high, then that would be confirmation of an uptrend. So that would be very bullish. But yeah, we're not seeing that yet, and I think given the trend line that we've got going on here, I think it's this trend line, we could still fall off from here, and it would just be, this would have been all for nothing. You probably shorting Shiba. No, I'm not shorting Shiba. Why would I risk my money for that? Like, it could shoot up, but it could also drop fast. That's the problem with Shiba. And why the hell would you buy it? I mean, what is the fundamental reason you want to buy that, aside from the fact that people are buying it? Like, that's the thing. Like, what is the fundamental? Is there something behind it? Are people going to use it? Are they using it? Or is it just, hey, we're all speculating, so join the party? I think it's the latter. I think it's people just want to speculate on the Shiba Inu. And, which, it's fair. Oh boy, C3 is already starting to pull back again, and Palantir is pulling back slightly. And that's after it already pulled back big time. And then you have Apple sitting at 151.6, also starting to move downwards. And Virgin Galactic going down. Damn, man, that's kind of painful, isn't it? It's like you get a little bit of green, and then you get a lot of red, and it just keeps on selling off. I mean, that has been what's happening for the most part. Yeah, Microsoft has been coming down on the MACD. I guess that's nice. Wait, is President Biden actually having a speech right now? No way. Is that right now about the infrastructure bill? Let me check that out. Oh, it is right now. Yeah, I don't think he's speaking yet. He's going to be coming up in a couple minutes. For some reason, I mean, it really does feel like everything is still very bloated. It just, I don't know, it's just like, I just have this feeling that everything is bloated. Like, big tech is just up there. Growth stocks, even after selling off, I mean, it's still not cheap. Interesting markets. Like, everything is just incredibly bloated still. Even after the 10% downturn. Which wasn't really 10%. I think it wasn't even 10%. It was 8%. On the NASDAQ, at least. Wait, that's the S&P. 5 points. So the S&P is only down 5%. And the NASDAQ is down roughly 8 percentage points. And so that is, in my opinion, the reason why I think most stocks are still sitting pretty darn high, even after this slight correction. I mean, let's be real. See, there's a big reason I'm buying Alibaba. I mean, this is an actual discount. 55, 56%. It's like, oh yeah, we can finally buy Google at a 10% discount. I mean, that is not a discount. I don't think that's a very strong buying opportunity. It is a buying opportunity. I have been buying the dip on Facebook and Google in small amounts. But it's nothing too significant. It's just, I don't know what to say, right? It's just, we're not getting the discounts that we used to get. I remember a time where stocks would sell off 30%. And you'd be able to buy the dip. And that time is kind of gone. But yeah, you know, here you go. Google going down 20%. And then, yeah, it's just, I'm kind of speechless. Yeah, that was this time, right? 2018, my God. That was so good. Like, I remember Google just going down straight up like 20%, and then they went down like, 23%. Like it was nothing. I think we should go back to those days. So, crash incoming. I don't think there's a crash incoming. It's just, everything is so bloated. Like, everything is expensive. Like, really expensive. And it's not like earnings have improved that much. It's like, oh, Apple is making 20% more. Okay, the stock went up 3 times. Like, we tripled. Like, that doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, look at the annual earnings of Apple from 2019 to 2020, right? How much of an increase was that? Now, well, let's just check it out, right? 260 billion to 274 billion. It's like 5% or something. So it went up about 5% in earnings on an annual basis. And guess what happened to the stock, right? This is 2019. Start of... Hold up. I think we have to go to the end of 2019. Apple was sitting at 80 bucks, right? 80 bucks. Let's see what happened at the end of 2020. End of 2020, we're sitting at 140. It literally went up like 80% on that slight slither of upside on earnings. I mean, what can I say about that? That is just inflation or something? I don't know. Everything is still freaking high. There is going to be a time, I think it's going to be right after the tapering, maybe right during the tapering, but there's going to be a massive deleveraging. And I think all these prices that we're seeing, I don't think we're going to see that again for a long time. It's not going to happen next month. It's not going to happen 3 months from now. I'm talking like 2020, the second half, potentially after the tapering, maybe during a rate increase, right? If they increase the rates, see, that would have a big impact on the equity market, and that would potentially mean that a lot of people could sell their equities. They could sell their stocks, get into the bond market with higher rates, and I think that is when we're going to see some cheaper prices. I mean, these are still some really expensive prices. Can we stream Biden? I need to sleep. I don't think he's talking right now, is he? I don't think he is. I think there's a woman talking right now. I don't know who that is, though. I think he's going to come up the stage in a moment, so. I think I'm just picking bad stocks. AI Palantir. If the bloated stocks sell off, these goes down even further. The thing is, the bloated stocks, they don't go up that much. But DIDI, Alibaba, SoFi, and Palantir, when they go up a lot. Like, we're talking 10, 20, 30%. Amazon hasn't... Like, there's a good example here, right? How much has Amazon gone up? Let me show you. Just for the past year, it's like or up 10, 15%, or it is down 10, 15%. Meanwhile, we've got Palantir, which is, if we can grab that bad boy, Palantir has been going up and down more than 20, 30, 40%, right? I mean, this move that we've had from the 22s, that's 33%. That's quite substantial. And I think, obviously, it also goes down an equal amount, but that's how the stock goes. That's just how it moves. It's much better than an Amazon regarding like how much it can go up. Although an Amazon could be safer, definitely is safer. I think Palantir could move up much faster, much higher in a shorter amount of time. Okay, Biden is speaking right about now. Let me just put him on the screen. See what he has to say. Oops. That's it.
Business manager Douglas Stockwell in our membership. I would like to
so many
first
dislikes.
Thank our guests, the media, and of course, President Joe Biden. I also would like to recognize our International General President, James T. Callahan, who was unable to attend but sends his warmest regards. At Local 324, we have a saying: we build, we operate, we maintain. With over 14,000 members, Local 324 operates the heavy machines that propel construction, the roads, bridges, buildings, energy plants, pipelines, airports, and nearly every large-scale project in the state. We operate the cranes, the dozers, trucks, excavators, and countless other equipment that is building infrastructure daily. Building infrastructure takes investment. For our members, it's the investment of time to learn how to build things safely and efficiently. Training is the key to everything we do. It's an investment in ourselves, in our work, and in our communities. I've been a member for 36 years before becoming the training director. I spent 30 years working in the field as a foreman, superintendent, building the roads and bridges in the state of Michigan. I know firsthand the skills our members bring to every job. I also know how much there is need of repair. The infrastructure investment and the Jobs Act is a once-in-a-generation chance to provide world-class infrastructure that is safe, reliable, and more resilient. It's a blue-collar plan to invest in America and create hundreds of thousands of family wage jobs, build healthy communities, and reduce congestion and gridlock. The infrastructure bill is a job-created lifeline to millions of skilled workers throughout the construction industry, contributing to long-term economic growth and improving the quality of life for Americans. Most importantly, it's an investment in our country. The IUOE Local 324 has kept Michigan running for over 100 years. Now we stand and ready to build back better. With that, I welcome the President who is paving the way, President Joe Biden.
Put your mask.
I might need that.
Yeah. Hello, Michigan. It's good to be back. It really
All right,
is.
here we go.
And John, thank you for that introduction. The truth of the matter is, there's a reason why the American labor movement across the board has the single best workers in the world, because you're the best trained. I wish the American people understood how much serious training goes into being a union worker. I really mean it. You're the best in the world. I was kidding. Someone said to me earlier that I said I'm a union president. I'm a president of sports unions, not labor unions. And someone pointed out to me that I allegedly have used the word union as president more than the last 7 presidents combined. You built the country. No, not a joke. You built the country. And it's great to be here with several excellent members of Congress. Lisa Slotkin, Alyssa, you don't want to screw around with her. She's an intelligence officer as well, so she's forgotten more than most of you know. But thanks for riding out with me, and thanks for the advice you've given me, and I mean that sincerely, and how we're going to make sure that everything we do here is paid for, and not a single penny raised in taxes of anybody making under 400 grand. And Debbie, you're the best in the world. You and John have been so friends of mine. You've been for so long. You've stepped in and taken over in a way that I think has had to be both emotionally difficult, but you've done an incredible job. And I consider you one of my great friends. Thank you. And Dan, you're okay, Dan. No, you ain't quite like the woman sitting next to you. But all kidding aside, Dan, you've done a great. I mean, I really mean it. You're always there for everything that's important to your constituents, and you understand. What I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The way we built this country is from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down, and you get it. And Andy, as my dad would say, you got good blood, kid. And thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for stepping in, and thank you for the great job you do. Michigan, I also have. It's also fortunate to have an outstanding United States senators who are doing what they're supposed to do. They're in Washington because the Senate's in. Debbie and Gary are in Washington now, and to cast some really important votes to keep things moving. And of course, it's great to be here with my friend. We've become friends, an outstanding governor, one of the best governors in the United States of America, and her lieutenant governor who covers her in every way, both in terms of physically and mentally and every other way. And thank you for all you did to help me get elected. I really mean it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I know there's a lot of noise in Washington. There always is, but it seems to me a little more than usual now. A whole lot of hyperbole, a lot of heat, and I'm here today to try to set some things straight if I can. I want to talk about what's fundamentally at stake for our country now, at this moment. I know it's an overused phrase, but I've been using it a lot. We're at an inflection point. Anywhere from 40 to 80 years in America, there's an inflection point. We have to choose what direction we're going to go, what we're going to do, not Democrat, Republican, but who we're going to be. For a long time, America set the pace across the entire globe. For the better part of the 20th century, we led the world by a significant margin in investments in ourselves, in our people, in our country. We invested in our infrastructure, in our roads, highways, bridges, ports, airports, and the arteries of the nation that allow commerce to function smoothly and swiftly and allow us to generate significant income. We've invested in our people and opportunity. We're among the first to provide access, for example, to free education. It's the reason why in the 20th century we began to take off. It was back in the late 1890s. We decided among the first countries that we were going to be the first nation that every single American, regardless of their background, no, it wasn't at the time regardless of their background, but based on income, would have free 12 years of education. We invested to win the space race. We led the world in research and development, led to the creation of the internet. And, but then something happened. We slowed up. We stopped investing in ourselves. America is still the largest economy in the world. We still have the most productive workers and the most innovative minds in the world. But we risk losing our edge as a nation. Our infrastructure used to be the best in the world, literally, not figuratively. Today, according to the World Economic Forum, we rank 13th. Our infrastructure, 12 nations have a better infrastructure than we do, which means they can move product. They can do so many things better than we can do it. We're among the first in the world to guarantee access to universal education. Now, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development ranks America 35th out of 37 major countries when it comes to investing in early childhood education as a percent of GDP. Think of that. Think of that. Of all the industrial nations in the world, the instinct Americans would say, if you asked them 25 years ago, would say we're number one. We are not. There's only 2 industrial nations that are lower than us. All those investments that fuel the strong economy, we've taken our foot off the gas. I don't know what's happened. The world has taken notice, by the way, including our adversaries, and now they're closing the gap in a big way. So it's essential that we regain our momentum that we've lost and the work of our time, it seems to me, those of us who hold public office, is to prepare ourselves to be more competitive and to win the fast-changing 21st century in the global economy. Things are changing incredibly quickly. That's why I propose 2 critical pieces of legislation being debated back in Washington right now. The first, a bill to invest in our physical infrastructure. And the second is a bill to invest in our human infrastructure. I'll talk about both these bills in just a moment, but first, I want to set one thing straight. These bills are not about left versus right, or moderate versus progressive, or anything that pits Americans against one another. These bills are about competitiveness versus complacency. They're about opportunity versus decay. They're about leading the world or continue to let the world pass us by, which is literally happening. To support these investments is to create a rising America. America is moving. To oppose these investments is to be complicit in America's decline. To support these bills is to pursue a broader vision of our nation, and oppose them is to accept a very cramped view of our future. This isn't about 2 pieces of legislation. It's about the inflection point I mentioned earlier we are in our history, the world history. So, here's what I'm proposing. First, the infrastructure bill. It's about rebuilding our roads, our highways, our bridges, our ports, our airports, our broadband, all the things that need repair. Our arteries of our economy have always been fueled by the economic might and dynamism of Americans. Across the country right now, 45,000 bridges and 173,000 miles of roads, according to the Society of Engineers, are in poor condition. Right now, including more than 1,200 bridges as the governor's been fighting to repair here in your state, 7,300 miles of roads here in Michigan. I'll bet everyone in this room can tell me what the most dangerous intersection in this town or any town they live in and where it is. That you hold your breath when you're driving over trying to cross the street. Not a joke. Working with the governor and members of the Congress here, we're going to put hardworking Americans like the operating engineers here in Howell on the job to bring back our infrastructure and bring it up to speed. Good union jobs, not $12, $15, $18, prevailing wage jobs. Wage that give you dignity, that you can raise a family on, that you can hold your head up. This is a blue-collar blueprint for how we restore America's pride. And these are jobs that can't be outsourced. We're going to put plumbers and pipe fitters to work, replacing lead pipes in America, so families and children can drink clean water. 400,000 schools. I mean, it's not just our homes, it's across the country. We're going to put line workers and electricians to work laying thousands of miles of transmission lines and to build a modern infrastructure and energy grid. We're going to make high-speed internet affordable and available to everywhere in America. We're talking about on the way over with Alyssa, that how short the number of people have access to the internet here because of the lack of investment. We're going to make the largest investment in public transit in American history. And we're going to make the most important investment in our rail system since the creation of Amtrak 50 years ago. And let me tell you, our competitors aren't hanging around and waiting to see what we're going to do. They've been pouring billions of dollars into infrastructure and into this training their people for years now. Take China, for example. Now, I've been clear that China uses unfair coercive practices to get ahead of their competitors, but that's not the whole of the story. They also invest in themselves. In recent years, China has spent around 3 times as much on infrastructure as a share of their economy than we have. 3 times. And they're not slowing down. Yesterday, my U.S. trade representative delivered an important speech on our competition with China. She pointed out that China made a major investment in steel plants beginning about 20 years ago. In the last 20 years, half of American steel companies have been shuttered. We went from 100 U.S. steel companies to 51. And employment in the American steel industry dropped by 40% since the year 2000. China
Stocks
now
are
produces
pulling
more
back.
steel in 1 month than America does in an entire year. You can see it in the sector after sector. Other countries are speeding up and America's falling behind. We've got to reset the pace again. We've got to set a different pace. For example, here in Michigan, we need to make sure that American auto workers lead the world in electric vehicles.
Why does he not mention Tesla?
Some of you came to the White House when I had the chairman of the board of General Motors,
So weird.
Chrysler, and GM. I mean, General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford. You know, and what did they decided to do? They decided they're going to lead the world and they're going to build more of the electric vehicles than any other country. But guess what? China's not waiting around. They manufacture more than twice as many electric vehicles as we have over the last decade. They control more than 75% of the battery market. And they're poised to invest another $14 billion in charging capacity now in their country. Back in May, I had the chance to tour Ford's new state-of-the-art facility in Dearborn, where union workers are building the first ever all-electric Ford F-150. I got to drive that sucker. It's quick, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. And it's a big boy. It's a big one. Months later, I hosted the big 3 automakers at the White House, where the Ford 150 was joined by the GMC Hummer and the Jeep Wagoneer, all going electric, all in partnership with the UAW. The whole world knows that the future of the auto industry is electric. We need to make sure America builds that future instead of falling behind. We should build those vehicles and the batteries to get them here in the United States of America. That's what we should build here in the state of Michigan.
He's not mentioning
jobs, no,
Tesla.
I, really mean
I don't
it.
know why.
I want those jobs here in Michigan, not halfway around the globe. That's what my plan will do. The infrastructure bill will put in motion the union workers on the job, installing national network of hundreds of thousands of charging stations along our roads and highways and communities, over 500,000 of them. And by the way, parenthetically, when you build a charging station, it's like back in the day when my grandpa worked for the American Oil Company back in the turn of in the 1920 in that area. They went from state to state convincing people that they allowed them to put 20,000 gallons of gasoline under the ground. They didn't want them around. But guess what happened? Everything builds up around them. You put these charging stations along there, how are you going to see a significant economic development go well beyond the charging station? And the Build Back Better plan will boost our manufacturing capacity, investing in new and retool facilities that employ American workers with good wages and benefits. That includes grants to kickstart new battery and parts productions. That purchasing incentives for families to buy clean, union-made vehicles like the ones championed by Debbie and Dan and the Senate and the House. And loans and tax credits to boost clean vehicle manufacturing. Look, these are the kinds of investments that get America back in the game and give our workers a chance. My plan also makes historic investments in clean energy, including tax credits, to help people do things like weatherize their homes, install solar panels, develop clean energy products, to help businesses produce more clean energy. All told, this project will save literally hundreds of millions of barrels of oil on a yearly basis. Not a joke. Those credits could cut the cost of installing the rooftop solar by about 30%, helping families cut their utility bills and helping the country cut its emissions. My infrastructure bill will put Americans to work in long overdue national environmental cleanups. I want a Job Corps, just like Roosevelt had a Job Corps, but an environmental Job Corps of over 1.6 million people. That means good jobs at prevailing wages, capping hundreds of thousands of abandoned oil wells. You know, we have thousands and thousands of abandoned oil wells and gas wells and methane leaks. Well, guess what? The miners and the people who dug those wells, they'll get paid the same amount of money to cap them now. It's going to help us meet the moment of the climate crisis and do away with, it's going to create good jobs, make us more economically competitive. Folks, here in Michigan, you all know the cost of extreme weather. All remember the flooding this summer that shut down parts of I-96, the power outages and the tornado warnings. They're costing your state billions of dollars. Nationally, last year, because of extreme weather, cost America $99 billion. 99 billion taxpayers' dollars. I went all over the country. I went out west to the fires. You know, more is burned down in the Northwest than the entire state of New Jersey. That's how much we've lost. You see what's happened with the droughts that are out there. You see reservoirs that are down 30, 40, 50 feet. There's worried about the cooling down. You're worried about whether you're going to have what the Colorado River is going to do. This is a big deal. This is gigantic. And we're not going to ease up. We're not going to ease up in any of this. We have to invest in resilience. Resilience. You saw Texas, their entire power grid went down because they had no resilience, the ability to build back and build things stronger. Why a lot of those fires in the far west? And because guess what? It's a hell of a lot safer to have those wires underground, not being knocked down by high winds and tornadoes and the like, causing fires. Look, we haven't passed a major infrastructure bill for decades in this country. It used to be a normal thing to do. It used to be a bipartisan thing to do. If we get this done, we're going to breathe new life into our economy and our workers, and we're going to breathe cleaner air. Economists left, right, and center agree. Early this year, Wall Street, not some liberal think tank, Wall Street and a Wall Street outfit called Moody's projected that the investments in these bills could help our economy create an additional 2 million jobs per year, every year, 2 million per year. That's going to be transformative. And here's the deal. The jobs in my plan are people who too often felt left behind and were left behind, left out. 90% of the jobs in this bill, these bills, in my infrastructure plan, don't require a 4-year college degree. We need to get this done. But it isn't enough just to invest in our physical infrastructure. We're going to lead the world like we used to. If we're going to do that, we have to also invest in our people, like you do right here in training, in this training facility. That's why my second bill, the Build Back Better plan, that's what it does. Take education, for example. When America said everyone is entitled to 12 years of free public education, universal, a century ago, it gave us the best educated, best prepared workforce in the world. That was one of the reasons why America began to grow so rapidly. It's a big part of why we led the world the bulk of the 20th century. But guess what? If we're going to put together a committee today, like they did in 1898, I think it was, and we were going to invent a public education system, is there any chance we'd say that we thought 12 years was enough in the 21st century? Just 12 years? I don't think so. Study after study shows that the earlier our children begin to learn in school, not daycare, the better for themselves, for their families, no matter what the background they come from, no matter what their background. Recent university studies point out that they're increased by 56% the chance for them to get all the way through 12 years of school without getting in trouble. It's a gigantic deal. It doesn't matter whether mom or dad know how to read or write, or the home is a home that is challenging. But right now, we're lagging behind, while other countries are investing in their children. Today, only about half of 3- and 4-year-olds in America are enrolled in early childhood education. in Germany,
Market just
France,
closed.
United Kingdom, Latvia. That number is more than 90%.
Everything is going down
90% of the
since Joe Biden started talking.
We're falling further and further behind the curve. It's not just early education. According to one study, we rank 33 out of 44 advanced economies when it comes to the percentage of our young people who have attained a post-high school degree. Anything after...
All right, enough of that. I'm going to have to wrap up the current live stream. I don't have a lot of time because I need to do some things here in the office. And the office closes at like 11 p.m. for me, which is in an hour. So, yeah. Interesting day today. Seems like we had a big bounce at the start of the day, and then everything kind of went flat. And then since Joe Biden started talking, everything just dumped. Like, straight up dumped. Not a significant amount, but, we're still green. Markets are green. It's mostly big tech. It's mostly value stocks. Growth stocks are not going up right now. But yeah, that is the current kind of situation that we're in now. It looks like... although, I like the fact that Alibaba went up. That was quite nice. DIDI is also up. But yeah, most growth stocks are kind of, slightly up, but nothing too spectacular. Palantir went down massively after that big push to the upside. I made a video about Palantir as well, so if you haven't checked that video, there is a video about Palantir on the channel, and you can check it out. The Palantir video is obviously on the channel, so check that out. Yeah, I don't know. It's a 10-year yield. I've been talking about this for a while. When the 10-year yield goes up, growth stocks get annihilated. Absolutely annihilated. And that's what we're seeing, to be frank. Like, that is what we're seeing. So, anyway, I'm going to be going now. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And hit that notification bell. We have a Discord community. We have an Instagram, a Twitter. Links are down below. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do that through Patreon. There is a Patreon link down below as well. And lastly, like I said before, I'm going to be uploading videos. There's going to be more coming. I'll be making one video a day at the least, along with the 2 live streams. And I'm starting to also add more content to Instagram and add more content to Twitter. And I'm going to start adding more content to Patreon as well gradually in the coming days. And then I'm going to do that on a daily basis. Then I also want to be, I actually want to upload 2 videos a day, but I think it's better to start off with 1 and then build it up to 2 and maybe even 3, who knows. That would be pretty crazy, but 2 videos a day, that would be a nice achievement. But yeah, thank you for watching once again. I love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow before the market opens up on Wednesday tomorrow and before the market closes. So check out the new Palantir video. It is on the channel. Check it out right now. I'm going to link you guys to it just so you don't forget. Here we go. And fantastic. Fantastico. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. See you soon.